The Japanese Mafia, the Japanese Gang. The criminal organization in Japan has been referred to by several names, but they truly answer to one: the Yakuza. And today, we'll be visiting the most dangerous city in Japan, ruled by the Mafia. This isn't just any city. This is the heart of a world where many enter but can't see what is right before them. Join us as we uncover the secrets, the power dynamic, and the dark history of Tokyo. The Inception. Although commonly compared to the Italian Mafia, the Yakuza actually has a history that dates far back. Sometimes referred to as the Japanese Mafia, the Yakuza boasts of an organization that has Japanese culture deeply ingrained into it. Tracing their origin back to two groups of outcasts that emerged during the Edo period, the organization has its genesis mixed with peddling, fairs, and gambling. The first group, known as the Tekiya, were peddlers who traveled from village to village, while the second group, the Bakuto, were gamblers. Over time, these two classes organized and expanded into criminal activities such as loan sharking, racketeering, and extortion. In some instances, the Tekiya provided protection for underground gambling operations run by the Bakuto, creating an interconnected criminal network that laid the foundation for the Yakuza. By strengthening their bond, the Yakuza soon expanded its influence and modernized its operations, branching out into various industries throughout the 1800s. However, they only really seized power post-World War II when the Americans came to Japan. They capitalized on the chaos that the war left behind and began to take control of businesses. Pecking Order. The formation of the Yakuza drew heavily from traditional Japanese hierarchical structures, particularly the Oyabun-Kobun relationship. In this system, the Kobun, meaning foster child, owes complete loyalty to the Oyabun, or foster parent. Kobun, who serve under an Oyabun, often become Oyabun themselves, forming their own subsidiary groups. These subsidiary leaders can also create further layers, resulting in large organizations like the Yamaguchi-gumi, which can have 5 or 6 tiers of hierarchy. The head of a Yakuza organization, typically referred to as a Komicho or Kaicho, holds the highest authority. Directly under the Komicho is the Shatai, and beneath them is the Wakanaka or Wakashu. While positions may vary between different Yakuza clans, the 3 most crucial roles are the Komicho, the chairman, Wakagashira, the second in command, and Shatagashira. As the Yakuza evolved, they also embraced the code of Jingi, a philosophy of justice and duty where loyalty and respect became a way of life. Membership rituals. Just like the Italian Mafia, the Yakuza places a lot of importance on certain rituals. The bond between Oyabun and Kobun is often formalized through a ceremonial sharing of sake from a single cup, a ritual that also features in traditional Japanese Shinto weddings and sworn brotherhoods. Their ritual extends to strict measures that are used against offenders. A traditional form of pence adopted by the Yakuza is yubitsume, also known as otoshime. According to this tradition, when someone commits an offense, they are expected to cut off the tip of their left little finger and present the severed portion to their boss as a gesture of remorse. With loyalty running deep within the hierarchies, some underbosses might decide to sever their pinkies on behalf of their subordinates. The custom of severing the little pinky is growing less common among the younger members though, as this could make them easily identifiable to the police. Yakuza members are also known for their irizumi, full-body tattoos, which often include even the most intimate areas. These tattoos are traditionally created using a method known as hand poking, where ink is inserted beneath the skin using non-electrical handmade tools with needles crafted from sharpened bamboo or steel. With this process being both time-consuming and painful, it often takes years to complete and costs a significant amount of money. The Major Syndicates. Although several Yakuza syndicates exist in Tokyo and all over Japan, a few of them stand out due to their superior influence. The Yamaguchi-gumi is the largest and most powerful Yakuza family group residing in Japan. It shelters almost 30% of all Yakuza members within the state of Japan. In 2023, this organization had 3,500 full and 3,800 quasi-members. Having its headquarters based in Kobe, the Yamaguchi-gumi dominates not only criminal activities in Japan, but also in Asia and the United States. The current boss, Shinobu Tsukasa, better known as Kenichi Shinoda, has overseen an aggressive expansion policy, taking the syndicate into Tokyo, an area that has typically been outside Yamaguchi-gumi control. Among the many legendary figures who did exist during the history of the Yamaguchi-gumi, without a doubt, one will have to be Kazuo Taoka, often dubbed the godfather of all godfathers. Under his leadership in the 20th century, the Yamaguchi-gumi grew to unprecedented heights and cemented its place as the leader among the Yakuza underworld. In the past years, the Yamaguchi-gumi has spawned other groups. For instance, August of 2015 saw Kobe Yamaguchi-gumi breaking off from the main Yamaguchi-gumi. Thereafter, in April of 2017, Kazuna Kai broke off from Kobe Yamaguchi-gumi. Then in July 2020, Ikeda-gumi broke off. All these factions, stemming from Yamaguchi-gumi, have since then been at war against each other. The Sumiyoshi Kai is the second largest Yakuza family in Japan, with about 2,200 full members and 1,300 quasi-members as of 2023. In contrast to other Yakuza organizations, Sumiyoshi Kai is itself a confederation of smaller groups. Therefore, it does not have the same structure as other Yakuza organizations. Its current leader, Shuji Ogawa, holds the title of Kaicho. Structurally, Sumiyoshi Kai differs from its main rival, the Yamaguchi-gumi. Rather than a strict hierarchical system, Sumiyoshi Kai functions more like a federation, with a relaxed chain of command and leadership roles that are distributed among several key members. This decentralized approach contrasts sharply with the more rigid and centralized leadership of the Yamaguchi-gumi. The Inagawa Kai is the third largest Yakuza family in Japan. It comprises around 1,700 full members and 1,200 quasi-members as of 2023. Its headquarters is in Tokyo, Yokohama, and it is one of the first Yakuza families that has expanded its power outside Japan. The Kobe Yamaguchi-gumi is the fourth largest Yakuza family, with some 3,000 members. The family was once a section of the powerful Yamaguchi-gumi before the split in 2015. Operations. At the inception of the Yakuza, their main source of income was peddling and gambling, but with the end of World War II, they shifted to taking over businesses and investing in entertainment ventures. However, this shifted in the 2010s and 2020s, and a fraudulent scheme known as Tokoshu Sagi became more popular. This type of fraud primarily targets the elderly, tricking them into handing over large sums of money. The lower members pose as the elderly person's son, begging for money or visiting homes while pretending to be financial institution employees to swindle their victims. The financial damage from Tokoshu Sagi in 2019 alone exceeded 30 billion yen. While Yakuza members made up just over 10% of the lower-level criminals, such as those posing as bank employees, they were behind nearly 40% of the masterminds leading these fraud operations. In addition to fraud, the Yakuza and their affiliated gangs maintain control over drug trafficking in Japan, particularly focusing on methamphetamine. Although some syndicates like the Yamaguchi-gumi officially prohibit their members from engaging in drug trafficking, others such as the Dojin Kai are deeply involved in it. In fact, the most common charge against Yakuza members and their associates in 2014 was for violating the stimulants control, which bans the import, export, sale, transfer, possession, and use of methamphetamine. Some lower Yakuza syndicates also dabble in human trafficking, while the larger syndicates abstain from it as it clashes with their code of morals. However, if there's one operation most Yakuza participate in, it is extortion. But this is a special form of extortion known as Sokaya. This specialized protection racket targets major corporations rather than small businesses. Yakuza operatives buy a small number of shares to gain the right to attend a company's stockholders meeting. Once there, they use physical intimidation to coerce other shareholders. Public perception. Unlike the Mafia, the Yakuza openly declare their existence. Their membership is not only seen as legal by the country, but the Yakuza even give out business cards showing the names of their syndicates. This has allowed the Yakuza to have a complex and ambivalent relationship with Japanese society. While they are widely regarded as pariahs, their actions sometimes appear to have positive effects. For instance, they have been known to prevent other criminal organizations from operating in their territories and have provided disaster relief in times of crisis. This can be seen during the 1995 Kobe earthquake, in which the Yamaguchi-gumi quickly mobilized to provide disaster relief. They swiftly attended to the people in need way before the Japanese government, leading to a lot of accolades from people throughout the country. They did the same after the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami in 2011. The Yakuza dispatched hundreds of trucks loaded with food, water, blankets, and sanitary supplies to assist those affected by the disaster. However, their involvement in gang wars and their use of violence have significantly tarnished their public image. In spite of this, about 1 in 10 adults below the age of 40 think that the Yakuza should be allowed to exist since they help to keep the non-Yakuza crime groups under control. For more dark stories of the underworld, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to never miss an update.